In this slide, we are going to see the most important topic of the applet life cycle. You can expect this question in your exams, most important questions. So listen carefully. The applet life cycle can be defined as the process of how the object is created, started, stopped and destroyed during the entire execution of its application. It basically has 4 core methods, namely init, start, stop and destroy methods. These methods are invoked by the browser to execute. See the picture in this. This is the life cycle image representation. First step involves beginning or being born, which uses the start of method. Then it will move to the running state. If the applet is in the running state at that time, it uses paint of method to display the output. If it moves to the ideal state, at that state, it can use start or stop methods. At last, applet will move to the next state, which is dead state. During that time, it uses destroy method to execute the browser. We'll move on to the next slide. From this slide, we will learn deeper about each and every states of applet life cycle. Init method is the first method to run that initializes the applet. It can be invoked only once at the time of initialization. The web browser creates the initialized objects, that is, the web browser runs the init of method within the applet. What we need to follow at this stage are we can do some of the things at this stage. Those things are, first one is we can create objects needed by the applet. Then we can set up initial values. We can initialize variables. We can load images and fonts. And we can set colors to the applet. Take a note for the syntax. See the syntax in the slide. These contents are not available in your book, so don't forget to take notes. For init state, you have to override this method like this only, which is mentioned in this slide. We'll move on to the next state. Next state is running state. The next method is start of method. This method is called once after the init method. So which means this method is called only after the init method is called. So start method is used for starting the applet. It is also called to restart an applet after init has been stopped. It is invoked immediately after the init method is invoked. Every time the browser is loaded, the start method is invoked. This method can be called more than once. Also, we may override the start method to create a thread to control the applet. Hope you understand this method. We'll move on to the next slide. The next state is ideal or stopped state. This is nothing but it will stop the execution of the applet. This method is invoked whenever the applet is stopped or minimized or moving from one tab to another in the browser. When we go back to the previous page, then start method will be invoked again. We can also stop the applet by calling the stop method explicitly. This is how stop method in applet will work. Hope you understand. The next state is dead state or destroy state. As the name implies, destroy method will destroy the applet after its work is done. It is invoked when the applet window is closed or when the tab containing the web page is closed. Also, we cannot start applet again by calling start method after its destroy. The destroy method will completely destroy the applet. This state occurs only once in the applet lifecycle. We'll move on to the next state. The next state and most important state is display state. Applets moves to the display state whenever it has to perform any display operations in the web page. This happens immediately after the applet enters into the running state. The paint method belongs to the graphics class in Java. It is used to draw shapes like circle, square, rectangle or trapezium, etc. in the applet. It is executed after the start method and when the browser or applet window is resized. Also, display method is not one of the stages of applet lifecycle, but this method will be used inside the lifecycle. So, we have to understand this stage also. That's why I added this state inside these slides. We'll move on to the next slide.